What's up, Soul Nation? Ginger Prime here, and today we've got a little bit of quote-unquote news regarding Borderlands 3, as it is a rumor right now, but it leads to an interesting conversation, especially in light with my prediction and concerns with Borderlands 3 prior to the game launching. Now, before we actually get into my thoughts and updated concerns and questions as regarding this rumor, let me go ahead and just share with you the information that's being reported by Game Rant. I've also went on to YouTube and found other creators talking about this, so I feel like I've gotten at least a good context to this. Now, again, this is a rumor, and really the question that this video is going to be asking is, does Borderlands 3 need a battle pass? Are battle passes good or bad? What about the concept of microtransactions? How does this ultimately make you feel in regards of how the game launched, especially with a DLC seasonal pass? And this news may be changing how it goes going forward. Ultimately, there are no wrong opinions here. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. But let's go ahead and dive into the article real quick so that way we are all on the same page. Now, over the last few days, a new rumor has revealed its ugly head concerning Borderlands 3, which could essentially be a response to the currently unknown frontier that is the DLC. Following the release of the last DLC, many have been wondering where the Borderlands 3 2020 DLC is. So where is this rumor coming from? YouTuber Moxie had a podcast, in this case episode 7, in which they claimed to have a source close to the game who confirmed both a battle pass and microtransactions would be coming in February. Really, since this currently can't be verified, take it with a huge grain of salt, because honestly it could just be drama for drama's sake. But what this leads the question to, where I kind of fall in on this, is that as a developer myself, I have to say, if this wasn't a part of the plan from the beginning, I ultimately have major concerns. Okay, so let me catch you guys up on what I'm thinking and feeling on this subject. Again, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Personally, I have no real major issue with the idea, or at least the concept of what a microtransaction could be. I feel that it's easily, though, corrupted. I think when you look at stories regarding loot boxes and microtransactions, oftentimes they're connected to just horrible stories. Someone so spent $50,000, $100,000 or more. And my hope usually when I see those stories is, oh my God, I hope they actually have that kind of money. I also am not an individual who finds any fault in game companies wanting to make money. I think that if we are enjoying the game, we should obviously want to support the game, because that's going to lead to more enjoyment, both of that game and hopefully future games. But I get that it's a very complex issue, and I get that there's a lot of different gamers who fall on different sides of that argument very easily. So my personal opinion when it comes to microtransactions is it's complicated. It really varies on the trust in the developer and the publisher, and also how it's implemented in the game itself. There are many games that seem to get it right, and there are many games that, I guess, experiment for reasons of, what would be considered greed that can drive us in one way or the other. And honestly, I think the worst part about all of it is that as gamers, it divides us up amongst ourselves. It makes us fight it out over some theoretical turf that doesn't ultimately mean anything to anybody. Where I find this rumor particularly concerning is in the development and the foundation of what it means to be Borderlands 3. Now, to address a certain video that I actually have on this channel talking about why everybody's wrong about Borderlands 3 prior to the game going live, obviously I got a lot of heat for that video. I got a lot of frustration from the Borderlands 3 community. Ultimately, I wasn't trying to antagonize or upset them. I was just expressing my concerns I felt like with Borderlands 3 prior to the game coming out, that it really missed the mark. It's made a great game for 2012, but it didn't really take into account all that has changed over the last couple years. And people are going to fall on different sides of that. I just looked at it and said, oh, I'm going to wait till the Game of the Year edition ultimately, because they don't really give me a reason to jump in right now. And that's fine. Everybody's going to come to a conclusion differently. However, getting caught up on different videos within the Borderlands 3 community on YouTube, seeing this information here talking about maybe shifting their entire model to go to that of the games as a service, has me fall into two different mindsets. Either an idea that I was right and they looked at the numbers and said, okay, how can we do more? How can we do this better? Or the other thing, which is actually more concerning, they're changing their stripes mid-marathon, where all of a sudden, months out, the game's out and the DLC's out and people enjoy it for what it is, but ultimately wish they had more, and maybe the developer's trying to adjust that. As a developer myself, if this wasn't a part of the plan, if it wasn't a part of the foundation, it might feel ultimately tacked on. It might really shift me into a category where my personal concern is, well, what are they really going to monetize? What is the Battle Pass going to bring to the game? Is it going to offer new skins and guns? And since Borderlands doesn't really support armor, like, are they going to have to shift a lot of things? Are they going to make things more FOMO, that fear of missing out concept? And then I weigh this against the fact that I haven't capped out in Destiny 2. And then I don't remember the last Battle Pass I personally ever hit cap on. Heck, just yesterday I made a video over on Work the Game discussing the fact that I'm feeling somewhat demotivated when it comes to Destiny 2. And that's tied into the PvP concept, but it's also tied into, well, I don't think I'm going to hit cap again on Season of the Dawn. I might as well, just log in casually and enjoy the content for what it is and log out casually and not stress about it. But many people even said in the comments that they were feeling stressed by the system. And so it makes me wonder if the Battle Pass in and of itself is the right call, especially for a game that you pay for. I think when we look at it, like when we talk about free-to-play versus pay to play, and then we look at how they try to blend microtransactions into all these different systems, I think gamers are ultimately going to decide whether this is acceptable or not. And when we go look at the numbers, I think even over at Bellular News, they posted a video talking about just how profitable these systems are. And then when you compare them to like how profitable it used to be, it's just, the numbers are just insane. It's weird news today. It's a weird conversation today. And I do thank you for listening, and I really hope you weigh in because I'd love to know your thoughts. This is an evolving mindset for me, so I'll continue to update you guys. Obviously, as we look at other games and how things launch, there seems to be a right and a wrong. There seems to be degrees of sin in this case, for lack of a better term, when it comes to microtransactions. And I think the problem when I look at it is that the gaming hype and the excitement that we have for this hobby, for this passion that is video games, I think it's easy to have that hijacked and taken over. And to clarify what I mean by that is that we're all fans of video games, and sometimes we feel like we have to defend those games even if we don't disagree with it. We feel like any critique on that is an attack towards that game. So just to be clear, I'm not attacking Borderlands 3. I'm honestly just looking forward to being able to pick the game up and hopefully getting to play it maybe sometime this summer, as I originally talked about in my video. My concern was from content creators who are hyped, quote unquote, about the game before they just drop it and move on to the next thing. I felt that was disingenuous to what Borderlands 2, and especially Borderlands 1 and 2, meant to me as a player, somebody who really enjoyed it. When you don't factor in how the industry has shifted and changed into your design, this feels tacked on. And that's just how I'm going to summarize and bring the whole video together. This, if true, feels tacked on. Ultimately, that is concerning. I do hope that the devs can do well. I hope that the Steam launch does well. I hope they can finally deliver on that crossplay promise. Honestly, I really have always enjoyed a good time with Borderlands, and we'll have to see what happens. And so if you guys are interested in any updates on this story, let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoy these kind of videos and these discussions. But more than any of that, let me know what you're thinking. Like I said, I really hope to have a good conversation with you guys and get a good feel for what you're thinking and feeling about this rumor, but overall about the state of Borderlands 3, the looter shooter genre in and of itself. There's a lot of really cool stuff on its way coming out this year, so it'll be interesting to see what, if anything else, that they can do. I'm sure that when new content drops, people are going to be really excited about it. But anyway, thanks guys for watching. If you feel like I've earned your subscription, if you haven't subscribed already, join the Soul Nation, hit that subscribe button. Hope to see you here more often. We're talking about action, RPG, looter shooters, and the like here on Ginger Prime. But for this video, my name is Brian. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.